Have you ever wondered why the United States, the so-called land of the free, has the highest incarceration rate in the world? It's a question that haunts the minds of many, and the answer is far from comforting. The current state of the US criminal justice system is alarming, to say the least. Despite having only 5% of the world's population, the United States astonishingly houses a quarter of the world's prisoners. That's 1 in 4 of all people imprisoned globally, right here in the home of the brave. A shocking and sobering statistic. It underscores the gravity of the issue we're facing. This isn't an anomaly. It's a systemic issue, deeply woven into the fabric of our society. And it's a reality we need to confront head-on. It's a bitter pill to swallow, but the reality is, we are the incarceration capital of the world. And yet, despite this, crime rates in the United States are climbing, not declining. How can this be? One might expect that with more people behind bars, there would be fewer crimes committed on the streets. But the numbers tell a different story. Let's delve into the statistics. Over the years, we've seen a significant increase in both violent and property crimes. The increase isn't marginal. We're talking about a substantial uptick, enough to raise eyebrows and question the effectiveness of our current approach. Violent crimes, including murder, assault, and robbery, have surged. Property crimes like burglary, theft, and arson too are on a concerning upward trajectory. In essence, we're experiencing a paradox. The more we incarcerate, the more crime seems to proliferate. We are left with a baffling question. If we are incarcerating at an unprecedented rate, why is crime continuing to rise? Are we not catching the right people? Or is the system itself flawed? So we are locking more people up, but it's not making us any safer. What does this tell us about our criminal justice system? Has it failed us? One might argue that it has, and the reasons for this failure are manifold. For starters, our system lacks adequate rehabilitation programs. Instead of focusing on helping individuals reintegrate into society, we often leave them to fend for themselves after they've served their time. This lack of support leads to high rates of recidivism, creating a revolving door between prison and the outside world. Moreover, the system has an insidious focus on punishment over reform. It's a punitive system, one that prioritizes retribution over rehabilitation. This approach does little to address the root causes of crime, often leading to repeat offenders and a cycle of crime that seems endless. Then there are the systemic issues: socioeconomic inequalities, racial bias, lack of education, to name just a few. These issues not only lead to high rates of incarceration, but also fuel the cycle of crime and reincarceration. The system that was designed to protect us is now failing us. All of this comes at a staggering cost, not just in terms of lives ruined, but also in dollars and cents. When we examine the financial burden of the criminal justice system, the numbers are absolutely astronomical. Every year, billions upon billions of dollars are poured into maintaining prisons and handling the legal complexities of a system that is, quite frankly, failing. The cost of one prisoner's annual upkeep can easily outstrip a year's tuition at an Ivy League university. Imagine redirecting that money towards education, healthcare, and other social services that could help prevent crime in the first place. We could build stronger communities, provide better mental health support, and create more opportunities for those who feel they have no other choice but to turn to crime. But instead, we are stuck in this costly cycle of punishment without rehabilitation. The cost of this failure is more than we can afford. So, what can you do about it? The answer is simple, yet profound. You can raise your voice and let it be heard. You can vote, because each vote is a voice that echoes through the halls of justice. Your vote can bring about the change needed in our criminal justice system. You can support organizations that are tirelessly working towards reform. These brave groups are the torchbearers, illuminating the path towards a fairer, more just system. By supporting them, you're adding fuel to their flame, helping to cast light on the shadows of injustice. You can advocate for policy changes. Policies are the backbone of any system, and by advocating for reform, you're challenging the very structure that upholds inequality. The power to change the system is in your hands. Take action now for a better tomorrow. Because change doesn't come from silence, it comes from the roar of the many demanding justice. demanding fairness, demanding a better tomorrow.